Leute, was geht ab? Habt ihr eure PIN-Nummer vergessen? Wartet mal. Ihr seid nicht die echten Avengers. Hulk hat euch verraten.
What was the key argument for you to come together and say, let's do this, let's bring Spider-Man in the MCU?
It was two people who really love Spider-Man, who thought this would be the best thing for Spider-Man. For the first time, to have him come into the world where he belongs from the comics, surrounded by these other heroes. Spider-Man was always most interesting as a contrast to the other types of heroes, because here was a kid who was just going to school and living with his aunt and needed to be home on time, next to heroes who were gods from other planets or super soldiers or billionaire industrialists.
And, you know, we'd made so many Spider-Man movies that were basically, you know, Hamlet. There's like to be or not to be Spider-Man, to not be Spider-Man. And I felt like we had exhausted that dilemma. And this was an opportunity for a very different kind of dilemma and a very different kind of thing for Peter Parker to need and want and to have his eye on.
Guten Abend, Peter.
Hallo?
Du hast 78 Webshooter-Kombinationen.
Ricochet-Netz! Netzgranate.
And again, you surprise not only with a young hero, but with a young director, Jon Watts, who has not made a big movie before. What was the reason for you to hire him, to trust him?
Well, he hasn't made a big movie before, but he's made a really good movie before. And it's a movie called Cop Car, which is a very simple concept. Two kids walking around after school find an abandoned police car. And the things he can do, the humor that he got out of that situation, the tension he got out of that situation, and the performance, the very realistic performance he got out of those kids.
Yeah, it was incredible.
You took over a little bit from the Russo brothers, who introduced Spider-Man in Civil War. So how difficult was it to have already an established character, the tone a little bit set for you?
It was actually, it took a lot of the heavy lifting off of me. I mean, they did a beautiful job setting him up and contextualizing him as this 15-year-old kid who's plucked out of obscurity by Tony Stark and taken on this amazing adventure, and you know, the casting of Tom and just the general spirit of a 15-year-old kid who's really excited and really wants to be a part of this world was the perfect sort of jumping off point. They did all that work so that I could make a movie and just have fun with it. So it was great, actually. I mean, I was really involved in the process of those scenes that they had in Civil War, just to make sure it all would flow smoothly into what I wanted to do in Homecoming.
Ich pack das. An dem Move arbeite ich gerade. Los geht's.
Something else I imagine is different, besides bigger group, bigger stars, is the whole buzz surrounding the movie. About Zendaya's role, for example, Michelle, there were so many, I read so many things. She's Mary Jane secretly, she is this one, she's this one. How difficult is it for you not to laugh about that the whole time and go on Twitter or something and say it's all wrong?
It's great. I mean, I actually really like reading fan theories because they can be really complicated and nuanced, and every once in a while you'll read something and you'll be like, oh, that's a really good idea. Or you'll think, wait, what comic are they referencing? So then you'll go back and read the comic that they're referencing and you'll find some other little nugget. I mean, it's such a rich world to be drawing from that I love it when people are coming up with their own theories and ideas, because that's, you know, that's a part of the fun.
Kennst du den auch? Ich hab sein Schild geklaut. Dann hat mich verhauen.
But at the end, still it's Marvel, Sony, Disney here working so close together. It's not a marriage, it's a contract. How long do you think you will and can keep this together?
Well, you know, we'd love to do it for a long time. Right now, it still is a long time. We've made this film.
We're making another one.
We're making the next one for 2019. So Peter Parker will be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He was in Civil War. He's in Spider-Man Homecoming. And then, of course, he's already started shooting Avengers Infinity War, where he'll be working alongside all the Avengers and the Guardians of the Galaxy. So this film really acts as a bridge between Civil War into Infinity War and even connected to Guardians as well.
Tu mir einen Gefallen, kannst du nicht einfach der freundliche Spider-Man aus der Nachbarschaft sein?
You are now overseeing a big comic universe too, because Sony is planning so much more with Venom, with Tom Hardy, with Silver Sable and Black Cat. How will this be all connected?
Well, those movies will all take place in the world that we are now creating for Peter Parker. I mean, there'll be adjuncts to it. They may be different locations, but it will still all be in the same world, and they will be connected to each other as well.
So there is a chance that Tom Holland as Spider-Man will pop up somewhere?
There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
There's always a chance.
Ich wollte nur wie Sie sein.
Ich will, dass du besser bist. Gib mir den Anzug zurück.
Aber ich bin nichts ohne diesen Anzug.
Wenn du nichts ohne ihn bist, dann solltest du ihn nicht haben.
Yeah, and how important is it to have a strong female character in a movie like Spider-Man? Is always a little bit a boys' movie, but
Yes.
It's very important.
Yeah, it's very important. And I think that you'll see as the franchise goes on how important it is.
what is Marvel planning to do with female characters in the future?
Well, I think you've seen already in a lot of the movies the strong female characters, whether it's Black Widow or Gamora, Nebula, played by Karen Gillan in the Guardians films. All of those characters are continuing in a very big way in the next Avengers films. We are in pre-production right now on Captain Marvel, starring Brie Larson, which will be our first solo titled hero, female character. We'll also start filming in a couple of weeks Ant-Man and the Wasp, where Evangeline Lilly's character, the Wasp, is elevated in a big way, and she finally gets to wear that suit and prove, as was pretty apparent in the Ant-Man film, that she's going to be a better hero than Ant-Man was.
It's about damn time.
Regarding Captain Marvel, you have found a director's team. You said that you have Brie Larson, which is great. How far is the production ahead? The pre-production?
We start filming early next year. We start filming, I think, in the end of February, early March of next year. And the screenplay is being rewritten right now. Just another draft of the screenplay. It feels very good, and there are a lot of ideas in that film that I think are going to be very intriguing to people as how we present Captain Marvel into the Marvel Universe and her importance into the overall universe.
Ach, einfach nichts Dummes. Alles klar?
Ja.
The whole Marvel Universe feels from the outside like really good planned, everything, like something like Spider-Man popping up now. It looks like it's planned since 5 years ago. So how far are you planning?
Right now, we're talking about 2021 and 2022 and 2023 and figuring out, we have an idea of what those movies are going to be. Things will be very different in the MCU after Avengers Infinity War. We haven't announced, we know what we're doing in 2020, we haven't announced it yet, but there's significant plans for the distant future.
Dieser Typ ist noch da draußen. Ich muss das allein machen.